just like to wrap this up. I was on a trip to Brazil recently, and I had a Baptist preacher that had started a university in Romania, and he had been a cessationist himself. Started a Christian university, was threatened, was beaten so much one time he almost denied his faith because they told him they were going to kill him if he preached again, and they had beat him. The KGB had beat him severely. It almost caused him to have a nervous breakdown. The beating had been so bad, and they warned him. And he told his friend, he said, I don't think I can be faithful. I got to quit preaching. And said, if you'll stop preaching, I'll give you a good job over here in the government. If you preach again, I'm going to kill you. We're going to beat you to death. And he said, that last beating was so bad, I lost my courage. And I just said, I got a wife, and so he went home and said, I can't do it again. I can't take another beating. I'm just going to quit preaching. I'm going to still believe in Jesus, but I just can't go any farther. I can't tell you how that last beating affected me. And so he called his mentor, and he talked to his wife, and his wife said, you've taught that we should be willing to die for our faith. Now you're not willing to. How can you go on? It's like she's encouraging him. Go preach. Go die, yeah. Go preach. And my wife said, go preach. Do not deny your faith. He said, I talked to the Reverend, and he said, I'm sorry to hear that. But if you can carry the flag that you've carried to this point, and you can't carry it any farther, then stick that flag in the ground and step aside and let God raise up another man that'll come and take that flag and go and take that beating. He said, I went and I took my last communion, and I prayed, and I was encouraged by my wife and my mentor, and I went up to the man and said, I know that you said he's going to kill me if I preach anymore, but I'm going to. I want you to know I've taken my last communion, and I'm ready to meet my God. And if you kill me, you're going to. But I am not going to deny this gospel. I've got to preach it. And the man that had told him that then looked at him and said, then you preach the gospel. I want to end. He told me this. Where I got to that was this. He said one of the greatest needs in the church right now, Bill Johnson's meeting it. He said, I've listened to you and I've listened to Bill, and I know that God has raised you two guys up to really have an impact on the church. And he said, I established this whole Christian denomination. I have just been kicked out. I am the father. They kicked me out because I now believe in the gifts. And I looked at him and I said, you did a good job of teaching them. He laughed and he said, you're the first person to ever told me that. I said, you taught your disciples well. This is what he said. The great need of the church today is to understand the goodness of God. Have you heard that phrase out of Bill's mouth? The goodness of God is what we need to hear. And he told me this. He gave me this illustration that stuck with me as a father of 4 children, and anyone who's a parent. If you're can I use the word good here? Would you say a parent that doesn't give their children what they need is a good parent? No. What if they abused them, beat them, hurt them? Would they be a good parent? I'm not trying to be theologically. I'm just in English. Would you consider that a good parent? What about a parent that tries to meet the needs of their children at great sacrifice? Is that more like good? What about the parent that realizes their child is deathly sick? And they pray, and they'll be willing in their heart to say, God, if I could trade places with them, I would. If they could take my health and I could take their sickness, I would. I love them so much, Lord. I'd rather that was me there than them. Not in the sense of trying to get healed by saying that. I don't mean that. I'm just saying in their heart. They just love them so much that they love them so much they would trade places with them if they could. Anybody ever felt that about your own kid? There was a movie. Mel Gibson was a